Welcome to El Profe's Classroom. Class is in session. And tonight we have a very special guest for the episode 8, season 1 of Anatomy of a Favorite. And we have with us here Josh or the pirate. I don't know. Do you prefer to be called Josh or pirate?
Either one. I've been going by a pirate for many, many years now. Actually, I've been going by pirate since like AOL dial-up days. So
Oh,
I have
okay.
been a very I've been under that nickname for a very long time.
I mean, yeah. So, okay, yeah. You're kind of used to being called pirate then.
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. It's we're recording this on a Wednesday, so it's midweek. We got over the hump and we're heading straight for the weekend.
Yes. Hopefully, very soon. I hope. Hopefully, those next 2 days go fast.
Yes.
So, if you guys don't know, Pirate is one of the guests for Hector's or the Chill Dude on a Couch series. Is it that bad? And we've been on a bunch of episodes together now. So I invited him to be a guest because he's very knowledgeable about music. I wanted to be able to talk to him more in a one-on-one way, more than just talking about also talking about good music instead of
Yes.
crap music. So that's always good. um, so when I reached out, I told you, what's your favorite song? I think you're probably the person who answered the quickest ever. So so when I asked you that, what was the criteria you used to pick a favorite song?
Okay, so as you could tell behind me, I have a lot of records. I
Yep.
listen to a lot of music, and I think I've even shown this in this is my music notebook where I have all of
Oh,
my
yeah.
writings and everything. I think I've shown this in a couple of episodes of Is It That Bad? But I write down every single thing that I listen to for a year. This is how
Wow.
far I've gotten this year. So I'm even behind, but I even do like a best of the year playlist, a whole
Nice.
bunch of things. Like even during our Is It That Bad? I still take notes and
Yeah.
everything. So
Same.
I
I also have like my notebook of is it, oh, I can't see there,
no,
but
I can see it. I
is
can
it
see
that
it.
bag notes? Yeah.
But I love that it's a pun. See, I did music notes.
Yeah. Death notes.
Yeah,
Notes.
but when I was picking a particular song and everything, it just kind of I have to feel it in a sense. Um, it has to have that intangible quality. Um, I have a very personal story when it comes to music. I have a what I call a before time and after time. So,
Nice.
just a little bit of background. My dad passed away when I was 17.
Okay.
And that was a
Sorry to
very
hear.
formative event for me. And a couple of months after, my friend at the time and I were getting into the Twilight books. So the
Okay.
soundtrack had come out, and I heard one particular song by a band called Paramore called Decode. Paramore's right there. You can always see it in my background. I'm a huge Paramore fan, but
Nice.
I consider the before my dad passed away time and after because I figured I didn't necessarily had a favorite band up to that point, but for me it was the after time when I was actually just sitting and listening and thinking about it. And that just that intangible quality, I keep coming back to the song over and over again is my favorite. And that's Alice in Chains' most famous song, Rooster, in my opinion. I've seen them multiple times. They end the show with that. I didn't get to see them with Layne, but I got to see them with Will three times, which is really nice. And yeah, of course, it's off of this album right here, Dirt, or if you want to say it in the one movie, Dear Tay,
Dear.
Sir Joseph Dear Tay. But for me, it's the intangible piece to it. When I go and I listen to it, it's weirdly calming, even though it's a very dark song.
Yeah.
I think of the memories of when I was seeing them live for the first time. I saw them in a venue called the Norva in Norfolk, Virginia. It's actually a pretty semi-famous venue. Prince did a couple of nights stint there. And what's interesting is just before he passed away, they were booking him for his next show at the Norva.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not legendary in the sense of like it's not like the Forum
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
the 930 Club, but it's its own thing. Um,
That's cool.
it's also the same city where I graduated college, so it's big in there. But I just remember seeing them the very first time, and it's a venue that has rafters. So there was a bottom area, and it has rafters, so it's kind of like a not 930 Club, but it's kind of like a I almost want to say it's not like a theater venue, but it has rafters to it. And I remember being with my mom, who needed the handicapped area, just being out there. But we were sitting up there and we were stage right the entire night on the
Oh
rafters
yeah, yeah.
and watching. Mike Inez waving up to us the whole time. And I remember specifically, it's one of these guitar picks in the here in
Oh
my
okay,
shadow
yeah,
box. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of grayed out back there.
Yeah,
But I
but
remember
I can
you can see
I
the
can tell the
yeah.
picks.
I remember him talking to one of the stagehands saying, "Hey, give me some guitar picks." Gets handed one. No, give me a bunch. And he threw it up and it landed on the second floor. So both my mom and I had a guitar pick. But
Nice.
I remember specifically hearing Rooster every time they're going to end on it. And it's going to be a big sing along. So that's one specific piece with that. I'll deep dive into a little bit more
Yeah,
lyrically
yeah, yeah.
as we go along, but that's my little pinpoint to kind of start us off.
I mean, when you told me that Rooster, and it was pretty quick when you were like, yeah,
Yeah,
Rooster is the song.
yeah,
I was happy because one of the things, I think Alice in Chains is probably one of my favorite bands ever.
hmm
Um, and but it's kind of strange because I sort of stopped listening, um because I it's like one of those things. It's hard to hear the band with another vocalist.
right,
And I have nothing against the new singer, but it's
yeah,
just there's something about it that
yeah.
it's not
Talking
the
about
same.
William Duvall, who sang on Black Gives Way to Blue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just recently got this one semi recently. This was a grail of mine. I'm glad to have that. I have his first solo album. It's pretty good, all
It's good.
acoustic. Yeah, it's a little different. It's all acoustic. I still need to track down Jerry's solo albums, and I do
Yeah,
have Mad Season as well, and then also Rainier Fog, which is their latest
yeah.
one.
Nice.
I
Yes.
I wish they could put out some newer material, but it is what it is.
That's a pretty cool cover as well. I like that
Yeah,
cover.
yeah. But you were saying about, it's Layne. It's always been Layne.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, they only had 3 albums with Layne, and you know, so it's one of those bands that's like, I mean, I love them, but it's so few. There's not a lot of music
But
there when
I
it
mean,
comes to
yeah, I
Layne.
mean, when it comes to this, they just recently reissued
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Tripod
The
album, so I got that. But you can also, if you kind of want to go off of it as well, let me make sure I don't mess anything up. You could always count the EP's Sap,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I also have Jar of Flies as well.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, you have basically all of them.
Yeah, I based all the except some of the bootlegs. But this was a live
Nice,
VHS during the facelift era.
awesome.
So we have that.
It's pretty cool.
We have facelift, of course.
Yeah,
This
I have.
most
That's the one I have.
the most recent reissue of this
Yeah,
sounds fantastic. Like this is high
sounds really
standard.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And then this one here, this was their first EP.
Oh yeah,
Uh, We Die Young, and it actually has I think they sent this out to radios. It has here are the songs.
yeah.
Killing Yourself.
Killing Yourself
Interesting.
is in that one, and then on the B sides, and it was re-released in the I don't remember the name of the album. It's like a B sides album.
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah, collection of, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to show you this too. If you haven't seen So there's the inner sleeves, really nice. But
Nice.
that's what that looks like on the
That's
inside. I don't
pretty
know.
cool. Yeah, yeah, that
No.
is cool. Oh,
So
so it has like a little hole in it.
yeah, it's die cut. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
So you can
that's
tell I'm a
awesome.
huge fan, like a huge fan.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I mean, it was one of those things I always when I was listening to music, I started listening to music I mean, I always listened to music, but
Hmm.
I was never like a big fan of music
Right.
until a little bit later in life. Yeah, I think I've told this story before in this series. My dad basically played us, a lot of 60s classic rock, you
Hmm.
know, I learned the Beatles, I learned the Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix and all that stuff with my dad. So but then I started listening to a little bit more heavier stuff. So I started discovering heavier stuff, and that's when I really became like a huge fan of music.
Hmm.
So during the late 90s, when I'm starting to have this music discovery phase, all I
Hmm.
heard was, Nirvana, 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 and Pearl Jam. But Alice in Chains, you never heard people who were too much Alice in Chains fans here in Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
So, but then I was like, I mean, I have to listen to them. It's one of these bands, what they call the big four
Hmm.
of grunge.
Yep.
Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana. So I'm like, I have to listen to Alice in Chains. And then I remember I went to what's the most famous song? Somebody told me it wasn't Rooster. Somebody told me Man in the Box, and
Man of the Box. Yeah, Man of the Box
I'm
is
like,
yeah.
let's listen to this. I was blown away by it.
Mm.
Mostly because I was a fan of the heavier music by this time. So in the sense that Nirvana was a bit softer, more maybe not I mean softer in a way. It's not as heavy in the sense. I mean, this is kind of sludgy. Alice in
Yes. Oh
Chains
yeah.
it's very sludgy. It's almost like if you're in a swamp, you know
Yes.
sort of
Yes.
sort of grimy and raw and all that. There was some level that I liked more than all the other grunge bands. I think the solos were more prevalent in that sense, more like heavy metal solos, a lot more than the other bands.
Hmm.
So Alice in Chains always had like a special place in my heart. Then I remember I heard Rooster, and I was like, whoa, what is this? This is crazy because I think Rooster is very different from most of what I've heard from Alice in Chains, at least
Hmm.
the Layne era. Um, Musically, while it has it's distinctively Alice in Chains because Staley's voice is so
Yeah.
distinctive, but there's something about it that sounds different. It's sort of more of a
Hmm.
storytelling lyrics.
Yes.
It's very very different. What was it? When you listen to this song, I mean, did you hear this song by itself first? Did you hear the album? Did you pick the album? How was it that you came about with this song?
Um, I'm trying to think back to it because I remember back when I had like my first job. It's like thinking about that. My first job, we listened to a bunch of Pearl Jam, like Pearl Jam's greatest hits. We listened to Alice in Chains, so it was well before that. So it was kind of like always being there, but then unlocking after that, for lack of a better term, flashpoint. I to use a nerdy piece of thing there, but it's always been kind of ever present there. Um,
That makes sense.
uh, I have some friends that I was talking to. Just just a bit of information. Layne passed away on my birthday.
Oh wow,
So during that time, whenever April 5th comes around, I always make sure to tribute him and also Kurt Cobain, who also died on my birthday.
that's crazy. Yeah.
And then my favorite comedian, John Panette, also died on my birthday. So I celebrate all three of them on that day. April 5th
April 5th.
is that particular. I also I think actually Mike McCready I share a birthday with, and
Okay.
Pharrell. So it's like I get to celebrate music on that day.
Yeah.
It was always tough because it's around Easter and also it's around American spring break. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I really couldn't have any parties because people were out with family and all that. So it's never been really a me day in a sense. It's been just a introspective day.
Okay.
But that's kind of a piece of it. And I remember Wood is the bigger song that I remember hearing a lot when, growing up and playing it in the house. But it's just there was that little nugget of whatever that was. And it's the storytelling behind it. I think Jerry was the main songwriter on that one, I believe. And he was talking about it's heavily military.
Yeah.
I live in a town, a Navy town. We have a naval base here. So
Okay.
I'm not served. I have some family that has. I have friends, former friends and colleagues and everybody that it's just part of this town. So it's a deeper meaning in that piece that's there too. I've pulled up the lyric sheet just to make sure I get that correct of who wrote
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry Cantrell definitely, I mean, from what he said, the story about, his father first,
right.
who served in Vietnam,
Hmm.
and it's you can definitely tell that this is a more personal song.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's hard to tell because Alice in Chains has this way of making music that you can tell it's a lot of it is very personal.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of songs are about, drug use and how that affects your life, because that basically was what Layne was going through.
Yes.
And I think they had this ability that not a lot of bands have of making you feel the same things that they are feeling when they're writing these songs.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's an ability that not a lot of bands have. I mean,
Hmm.
a lot of people can talk about drug use, but it's not the same. You don't feel it in that way. For example, I remember using as an example the Metallica's Master of Puppets, and how that is a song about
Hmm.
drug use as well. But that storytelling, well, I think it's a brilliant way of telling a story through the music as well as the lyrics. It doesn't hit you in the same way as this one, or other, Alice in Chains songs, because it's you can tell that they're telling a story, while here you can actually feel the pain. At least that's what I get from it. I don't know if that's you're saying the same thing you feel when you listen to it, but
Yeah. It's almost I don't like to do comparisons too much when it comes to the
yeah,
genres and
yeah.
everything. But you're talking about the heaviness in the lyrics and everything. I'm also thinking of one of my favorites. I've brought him up in the other Is It That Bad's and everything is Warren Zevon.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and one song that I think could get close to the feeling of the drug use and everything and the heaviness, Angel Dressed in Black from Mr. Bad Example. Um,
yeah. I haven't heard that one, so I'm gonna
so
write it down. What was the name again?
uh, Angel Dressed in Black.
Angel Dressed in Black.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I'm just gonna say the lyrics here. We're 20 minutes in. There's not swearing in it, but it's 20 minutes in.
That's fine.
Sitting on the sofa, sucking a bowl of crack, thinking to myself about my angel dressed in black. I know she went out hours ago. I hope she's coming back, so I wait here patiently for my angel dressed in black. Like how on it's he's not usually that on the nose. He's very verbose,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's just that dark nature to it. But he does it a little bit different because it's a catchy way he sings it. Uh,
yeah.
to go back to Alice in Chains, just in general, my mom, the way she describes it is the sourness to their singing.
Hmm. Ooh, I like that. I
Yeah,
never used that. I never heard that
yeah,
descriptor for Alice in Chains music. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's pretty accurate.
yeah. And it's the half step down tuning too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I remember listening to a remix of Everlong on YouTube, and it was in drop B. And because of how deeper the song is, it's different. And I've noticed that when I sing, my vocal range, I feel more comfortable in the half step down. So when
Okay.
I go and I play some songs and everything, I play Alice in Chains because I feel a little more comfortable with that.
Yeah,
I'm never
yeah,
going to be Layne. I'm never going to be Jerry,
yeah.
but I feel comfortable singing those songs. But I think one other thing I love about that is how brooding the nature is through the entire thing. That dum 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 dum, and it's like and then the bass, the bum bum ba-dum, like
The
just
bass is incredible.
and I think a couple of my favorite lines are Gloria sent me a picture of my boy.
Oh,
Like that hits, and then basically his buddy dying in his arms.
yeah.
Like the brooding nature of something I will never experience because I'm not a military person. I've never served, but I feel for those who have served just
Of
through
course.
hearing this.
I mean, I've never been a big like I said this on the death what was the Five Finger Death Punch. Uh,
Hmm.
I've never been I don't believe in war and all that stuff. I have a deep respect for people
Me
who
too.
actually do it. I don't like the institution,
Yes.
but the individuals who do it, a lot of respect because I don't want to do it. You know, so you know, hearing the stories of people who went through all this, you know, who people who have been to war and come back, you know, and dealing with all this trauma. I work in courtrooms, so you see all that trauma when they come back, and how it evolves into something, you know, that shouldn't be right.
Hmm.
um and it's sad because you know that that's something that comes from something that, you know, maybe never should have been. But um this song specifically, it hits hard because it's almost like it tells you the story, because it tells you a story, but it also gives you like the line you said, Gloria sent
Hmm.
a picture of my boy.
Hmm.
That is not a line where you say, oh my god, this is masterful writing, you know.
Yeah, it's Gloria sent me pictures of my boy.
Send me pictures of my boy.
Sent me my pictures. So it's like it's a journal and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
another, yeah.
It's like it's not you say you're not saying that they're writing something very intricate, but in terms of the song, that
Hmm.
line hits hard because of what it means.
Hmm. Another piece I love is there's a great juxtaposition in the song,
Mm-hmm.
and that's uh he ain't gonna die.
Oh yeah.
That the survivor's guilt of that being like just make this end, but then at the very end, the little bit of hope. Oh God, please won't you help me make it through?
Yeah.
So there's so many layers to this specific song.
Definitely, and I think also it helps, you know, because the song starts very very slow, very moody,
Hmm.
and then you hear I believe it's Jerry Cantrell doing the it's sort of like a, maybe not a whistling, it's more like a
Yeah. Do, do, do,
and
do.
that
Yeah.
alone, it starts to give you chills. You're like,
Mhm.
what is this?
Yeah.
And then comes, you know, Layne's vocals, which are it's impossible to describe them. And I think one of the things that I think helped a lot for me to become even a bigger fan of Alice in Chains was
Hmm.
the dual vocals of Layne
Hmm.
and Jerry. I remember listening to his first solo album, Jerry, the Degradation Trip,
Yes.
and I was a big fan of that. I know people don't really. Some people really like it, but
Hmm.
some people. I mean, it's not Alice in Chains. It was never meant to be
Oh
Alice in
no, it was
Chains.
never meant to be that.
But it's one of those things where he was always very good at um doing songs that felt very deep.
Yes.
So they go deep into the human psyche, the soul, if you want to call it that.
Hmm.
Um, so that that mix of Jerry's um, soul searching, or the deep meaningful lyrics, with Layne's sort of almost cutting vocals where they're sharp. I don't know how to explain the vocals. I'm not a music I'm expert or a vocalist, but his vocals to for me always sounded like a knife cutting through
Yes.
something sharp. Um, and I think here is probably the perfect mix of that with Rooster.
Hmm. I also another thing that uh just with the imagery also.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger fellow. I'm trying to lose weight and work out. One of the things I absolutely hate is when I'm on the treadmill in the morning and there's sweat in my eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when I hear that eyes burn with stinging sweat,
Oh.
it's like that image, if you've not felt that before, it is not a pleasant feeling. But one other thing with the juxtaposition that we've touched on before is yes, it is a sad, sour song,
Mm-hmm.
but when everybody sings along with it, there's still a little bit of smiles to it. Like when I was sitting up there and watching Will and Jerry, just get it was just I remember correct if I remember correctly, it was just like an acoustic guitar. And it was just those two. Um and they were just playing it and everybody was singing along. It was a wonderful moment. This was, I think, the third time I had seen them. Um I actually had gotten free tickets to see them and I
Mm.
had to go in. And by the time I got through security, I sat down. They started their set because it was a dual headliner, and I had
Okay.
to leave after their set, so it was perfect timing. Get in, see who wanted to get out. Um, I always like to sit on Mike Inez's side. Mike Inez is one of my favorite current active bassists.
It's good.
Like, yeah, he's so good. And I think if I remember, there's a rumor out there that he wrote a bunch of the bass lines for Ozzy's No More Tears album.
Oh,
I
interesting.
can believe it. If you listen to it, it might not be him playing, but
Yeah.
that do 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 that sounds like the classic way he would write things. So if
I'm
that's
gonna I'm
true, I
gonna
could
have
believe
to
it.
check that out. Yeah, because that would be interesting.
He
Yeah,
didn't play, but apparently he wrote it. So,
it's cool.
but I always sit on Mike Inez's side, and the couple of times I've seen, the one time I saw was Jerry had short hair, and then I think he grew it back out at some point. So it's really which side of Jerry are you going to get that night?
Yeah, yeah.
That's because they
So
have their distinct sides. Like if you see them now,
okay,
Will moves around the stage, but Jerry tends to stay on one side. Mike tends to stay on the other side. And of course, Sean is just up there on the there. But they have MSLS on the drum head, Mike Starr and Layne Staley.
oh, okay.
So not a lot of people talk about Mike either. So just shout
Yeah,
out to Mike Starr too, because he is just as integral to this band and the way they are as much as Mike Inez is.
that's yeah. It's this that whole generation of grunge, or late
Yeah.
'80s, early '90s grunge was. I don't like to say cursed, but it was rough going. Um,
Yeah, it was.
and I guess a lot of the music feels that way. You can tell these guys lived rough lives, and not they don't just sing it, they live them. uh
Yeah.
and you can pick any song from from Alice in Chains, those first albums, and you
Yeah.
can feel that. uh I was reading that um Jerry Cantrell wrote this um this song, well, or at least composed it when he was living in Chris Cornell's home back in 1991. I don't know how
Oh,
true that is.
ooh, that would make a lot of sense. Because if you know what happened during 1990,
What?
are you familiar with Temple of the Dog?
Yes, yes.
So that would make a lot of sense that there's just that air of a little bit of death
Yeah,
in that makes a lot more sense now.
yeah. So he basically, what I'm reading is he was basically homeless at that moment,
Hmm.
and so he was staying at you know Cornell's house uh, in Seattle, and he started thinking about all his dad's stuff, his dad's trauma, and
Yeah.
that was the inspiration. So I mean it makes sense now that you say it.
Yeah, kind of makes sense that there's that air of death, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So sadly, well, at least four of the big, there's four, but we always count. Well, oh my God, I forgot his name right now.
Dave
Um,
Grohl.
no, from Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Uh,
Mine's blanking too.
I forgot his name, but
Yeah.
so that era, I mean, it was four really good vocalists that we lost, that could have
Yeah.
made a lot of amazing music. But then
Yeah.
you say, maybe if they not had that horrible life, maybe the music would not have been as good. And that's
Right.
and that's horrible to say.
It is.
Sounds horrible. But
We're not trying to be horrible people here.
no, no, but a lot of times, you know, tough lives lead to inspiring art.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I wish they were still alive, obviously, because
Yeah.
at least for me, I wasn't into that music a lot
Hmm.
when Kurt Cobain passed away, or when Layne Staley passed away. But when Chris Cornell passed away, that hit me hard.
Oh, me too.
It's one of those things where um the art is so touching, because it's emotions that I think a lot of us growing up, at least for music, like hard rock and metal music fans, we all have those feelings of a little bit of darkness in our heads, and
Mm.
in our what would you say, all around us.
Consciousness, aura,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things. This is a brilliant song.
Oh, it
Uh,
is.
I think, I mean, we've pretty much glazed it a lot, but it deserves the praise. It's an amazing song.
Mhm.
If I was gonna ask you, if you had to choose between the album version and the unplugged version, which one would you pick if you had to?
That's tough. I actually just put in my pre-order for the Unplugged album.
Yeah,
I I almost want to say Unplugged because a lot of people say that that was basically his eulogy before he passed.
yeah,
It's just the raw energy of that specific one. And my memory of seeing them, albeit with the new lineup, Unplugged. Like get used to listen to like if you've never heard this song, what are you doing? Secondly, listen to the studio version, but then really listen to the unplugged version.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it might depend on the day, but right now it's unplugged.
I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine. I don't know if you've met Eggy from Is It That Bad? Um,
I've heard, the name sounds familiar. I don't think I've been on a episode yet.
Maybe not. Yeah, he's done a couple. He's done mostly, I think, mostly in Spanish. The
Oh,
song.
okay.
Um, but he's a vocalist, and
Hmm.
he picked Black by Pearl Jam. So
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
asked him the same question because I think that version, the unplugged version,
Yeah.
lives. I think that version lives rent free in my head. And Rooster's acoustic, like the that acoustic unplugged version, is also incredible,
Hmm.
and it does sound like a goodbye.
Hmm.
And I remember listening to Nutshell, and the first track
Oh,
in that unplugged, and I mean it's like tears because I mean somebody might not even think about it because they don't know the story, but knowing the story, it's like tears coming down your
yeah.
face. So
The nutshell comes off there.
yeah,
Jar of Flies. This is the best sell. I could be wrong. The best selling EP of all time for rock
it's a good one.
for good reason. But Nutshell is another reason why I've done. You know how you're talking about versions of songs that live rent free in your head. I love Black, but the version I got to see live when I saw
Ooh,
them. So they Pearl Jam does bootlegs for every
okay,
show that they do. I've worn out mine so much, but I'll show you what one of the CDs looks like.
nice.
I've worn out number one here, but they played for like 3 hours.
Oh wow,
This is all the songs I got to hear.
wow,
But
that's
but
incredible.
that version of Black, let me see here. It came right after they played Elderly Woman. So they came back from their second encore. Elderly Woman now was the Hampton Coliseum, so it's kind of like a theater in the round. And there were some people that were sitting behind the band all night. He says, "Hey, we got actually do an Eddie Vedder impression. Hey, we got some Soundgarden fans back here. Um, that they said, hey, you can have the best seat in the house, and they said, nope, so they could watch the great Matt Cameron all night.
that's
I do a pretty good, decent Eddie Vedder, but
that's pretty good. Yeah.
yeah. So they played that, and then they played the version of Inside Job for a woman named Jennifer Jaff, who does a bunch of patient advocacy stuff. You can look her up. Like
Okay.
they're like deeply entwined there. That was the first time I heard Inside Job, just in general. But going right from that into Black, chills. Like if you know the song Inside Job,
Yeah,
and then it
yeah.
goes right into Black,
I mean,
you can't beat that.
that's
Like
that's a 1-2. That's a one
let
two.
yeah.
Knockout.
Okay, just the encore break, if you would have went to a festival, would have been a perfect Pearl Jam set. Elderly Woman, Inside Job, Black, Alive, Rockin' in the Free World, Indifference.
Come on,
Like
that's
this is like
insane.
the perfect show. They don't play this bootleg either. They don't
That's
play this on
pretty.
Pro Jam Radio. This is perfect. The only other thing was, I think Better Man was supposed to be on there, and they took it off the set because they did "In My Trees" or "In My Tree" for as a request. But I have seen basically the big four, if you want to
Nice.
count tertiarily Foo Fighters.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you can count Foo Fighters with that, I've basically seen the big four because I got to see Soundgarden when they came around here with Nine Inch Nails.
Awesome. Sadly, I don't think any of them have ever come to PR.
Oh,
So I've
that's
never been
yeah,
able to see. There's a lot of bands I never got to see.
yeah.
Um,
Fingers
but
crossed. I'll send fingers crossed.
so when coming back to Alice in Chains,
Yep.
you know, it's a very different sound. I mean, I was a big fan of sludge, like that style of the sort of Pantera, Crowbar, Melvins,
Mm.
Corrosion of Conformity.
Oh, good
Uh,
stuff.
so that kind of stuff is slower, down tuned, all that. So I think Alice in Chains was right up my alley. And so I think this is a really great song. This is probably one of my, if I had to recommend a song, uh, this is, if you had to listen to one song, this would be pretty high up there
Mhm.
in my top songs as well. I still haven't made an episode of my favorite songs, so I'm gonna have to do that one at some point.
There you go.
Um, but it's a great song, highly recommended. I mean, Pirate recommends it, obviously, and so yeah, I want to thank you for joining me to talk about Rooster and Alice in Chains. Um, it's I love seeing your collection. I've seen a lot of your videos, looking at all your records because I started like not collecting really. I started buying records during the pandemic, so it
Mm.
became like sort of like a like my addiction during the pandemic.
There you go. There you go.
It was like suddenly it's like, oh, I'll buy a record player and then I buy a bunch of records. And
Yep.
there's a local store here. I think it's a great store, so I'm gonna shout it out. They never. I don't have any any money in that, but Ojo de Tigre here in Santurce, it's a great store, and the people there are very knowledgeable. And so I went there sometimes, and I was like, oh, recommend me something.
There you go. There you go.
So I've discovered some interesting bands. I don't know if you ever heard Goat.
Oh, I think I have. Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know what that is. Let's go, let's do it, and I loved it. so so that was like my thing, suddenly. So I don't have a lot. I also got some from family members,
Hmm.
but it's mostly like old Puerto Rican and Argentinian and Dominican ballads from the 60s.
Mm.
So a lot of older salsa and mostly Latin music. But whenever I see something that I like, I still buy it, um, because it's cool to have the physical media.
It is.
I also have a friend who's actually been on Is It That Bad, who had like a small print record label, and so I used to buy their stuff as well.
Hmm.
So, it's great to see, these channels for physical media and showing the really great stuff
Hmm.
that people have in their collections. So thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for joining me. Tell me, what do you have coming next? Are you
I
still?
am I'm busy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah.
eternally busy. But like I said before, I have been pulling records out to evaluate for a top 40, 50.
Oh,
So I'll pull out one of the random records. We can
oh,
talk
yeah.
real quick about it.
Yes.
Um, Let me pull out. Let me go with this one. I've only talked about this like once. This was a random find that I had found at a thrift store,
Hmm.
but it is from a band called Breathless. It's called Three Times and Waving.
Okay.
Um, it's hard to describe what they are specifically. If you just listen to them, you'll know. They're not like a high end, oh, this is like a Grail record or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just here, let me remove this so you can get rid of some of the glare on this.
Okay. Interesting cover.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. It was
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
and different. Obviously, this was one where they threw it in the bin because they popped a hole in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So, if those not familiar, this is basically like they couldn't sell it at the store, so stores would pop this corner here and put it at a discount. Um, It's interesting. It's I don't want if I remember correctly, it's like lo-fi.
Okay,
Um, it's on the Sixth International label.
nice.
So yeah, check this one out.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, you
actually,
have to YouTube
I've
it.
been thinking of doing like invite a couple of people from the Is It That Bad, and just doing like a recommend 2 songs. Let's do like
Ooh,
a playlist
I
of
like that.
song recommendations and
I'm
doing it
down.
like maybe monthly or bi-monthly or something, and have 3 songs and have a playlist.
I'm down.
Yeah, right.
I'm down.
It's a good it's nice to. I mean, we talk about a lot of crap music.
Yes, it's nice to actually have good stuff to talk about for
Yes,
once.
yes, yes. So I'm gonna plan on doing that probably for September, and then early September maybe, and then have that and do like a music recommendations. Um, so yeah. Well, thank you for joining me. Um, that's about it for this episode. I don't know what the next episode is gonna be yet, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's about it. Class dismissed.